Hello again, my friends. I'm so happy that we're kicking off with what are we kicking off? We're gonna taste wines. We're gonna learn how to taste wine professionally. And so we begin with the sense of sight. La vista del vino, the eye of the wine. What do we need? Let me guess. Wine, how about that? And a white background. I've got the white background. And I've got the wines. By the way, quantity. This is how much you want to pour. Maybe even a little less. I'm always a little bit too generous when it comes to wine. And I'm gonna start like this. So you want to look at the glass of wine. Don't need to touch, don't need to do anything. What can we say looking at a glass of wine? Well, transparency. Whether wine is cloudy or not, most wines have to be transparent, clean. Otherwise, that is a sign that something went wrong. There's some wines, natural wines, that might be a little bit cloudy because they're unfiltered, so that's okay. What else? Brightness of the color. The brighter the color is and the more acidic you should expect the wine to be. Brightness is given by the acidity, so the lower is the pH and the higher is the acidity, and as a result the color becomes brilliant. It's like in a beautiful painting is exactly the same idea. And it's the same thing whether you are in front of a white or a red wine. If you had a sparkling, same thing. Acidity is given by the bright. If you had a sparkling, it's going to be exactly the same thing. Now, what else can we say? Color, white and red. I'm good, aren't I? Well, there is more to wines than color. As a matter of fact, what you want to see when you grab a glass of wine, you are seeing that this is not white at all. It's actually, in this case, a, what would you call this? Like a light golden color with some pale straw hues. And in this case, what is it? Is it red? Not really. This is more of a ruby with some garnet hues down on the rim. So color of wine says everything about its age. The darker a white, the older the wine. The lighter a red, the older the wine. So white wines gain color as they age, like a white shirt is gonna turn yellow with time, oxygen. And red wine, like a black shirt, is gonna lose color as time goes by. So from a deep purple, the red wines are gonna turn into a red brick kind of color. Another tip that I'm gonna give you in order how to assess the age of wine is you need to tilt the glass at 30, 45 degrees ahead from you, and on the white background, you're gonna be able to see that from the core, okay, from the center, going towards the edge, the rim, it's called the rim of the wine, you'll see different hues of color. So the older a wine is and the more graduation in color you'll be able to see. What else is there? Now we want to grab our glass of wine. How are you going to grab the glass? Like that? Like in most movies, feels cool. Like you're at a party and everybody holds the wine like that. But no, we're not in a movie. Well, kind of. But you are grabbing the glass by the base of the stem or the stem itself. Why? You do not want to leave your fingerprints on the bowl because the appearance of wine is going to tell us so much more. So much more. So at this point, we're going to learn how much alcohol is in this wine. Check me out. What you want to do is this. Swirling the glass is one of the most solemn acts that you can put in front of your friends. Is this difficult for you? Well, then do this. Put it on a surface and it's going to become easy peasy lemon squeezy. Why are we doing this? I can now do this with two. You want to look at me? Like a Brazilian ballerina? I'm kidding. You know, some do that even in the morning when they have a cup of coffee or OJ, but the reason really why we're doing this is at this point, because still we're looking at a glass of wine, is for the legs. Check it out. Now, the higher is the alcohol content in a bottle of wine, and the more legs you should be able to see around the glass. What are the legs? Legs are the film that is created by the alcohol interacting with the cup. So once again, this is not gonna be your like show-off moment when you're gonna be going to your next dinner party saying, well, I reckon it's 12.1. There is not that scientific, but what you can say is whether a wine is in the 11 and 12, like most sparkling tend to be, sparkling wines, or like 14, 15, or 16, like some big reds could be. So that is the kind of difference that you'll be able to detect. Think of alcohol, think of whiskey, grappa, gin. If you drop some whiskey in here, hey man, do we have whiskey? We don't have whiskey right now, but you're gonna be seeing so many legs like forming like in the glass at once. If you were to have a glass of water, you can spend the whole day and not even one single leg is gonna be there. Now, I have the feeling that we've touched most topics about actually everything about what you wanna know about the cider wine. One last thing, the grape variety and the oak. A couple of tips for you. The grape varieties. Different varieties, we'll learn about it in a second, have got like a totally different color. A very simple example is Pinot Noir and Cabernet Sauvignon. Pinot is light, transparent, and very bright. Cabernet Sauvignon is dark, opaque, and very, very intense in color. And that's always like this. Okay, so when you're going to be having, if you have like a flight of 6 different Pinots, then you might be able to tell whether a Pinot has been going through more oak aging than the other, or whether that Pinot is older than the other. Other thing is the oak. The other factor I promised to talk about is the oak. Oak makes colors more intense. The Romans learned all about this. They were shipping wines and they realized that from point A to point B, the wine was becoming darker in color. And that happens with whites and reds. So when you're gonna be asked what vintage is this wine, if you have a multiple choice, always be careful about the oak. Because if even a young wine went through oak, the color might be looking a little bit darker. And about the sense of sight is everything for me. Please follow me on my next episode. Come la chiudo? And about the sense of sight is everything, guys. I think I told, and so
the sense of sight is everything.
The eye of the wine, and for the eye of the wine is everything. Thank you for following me. Follow me. Follow. Thank you for watching, guys. This is all about the sense of sight in wine tasting. Write your comments down below. Follow me on Filippo.Bartolotta, my social medias. And above all, I'll catch up with you on the next episode about the nose.